Hi there, this is Jeff Corrett of SEO. I'm the founder of this company where we help e-commerce companies that are doing between like 400K and 5 million per year. We help them increase their sales using organic search traffic. So today I have a question, and here it is. Why are there so many online shopping systems like Magento, WooCommerce, OpenCart, etc., since all of them offer almost the same features? So we're going to go ahead and answer that now. All right. So the first thing I want to say is that I would actually argue that they're not that similar, actually, right? When you're working in, day out for years with this stuff, it's like, oh yeah, man. Magento is way out there, right? It's kind of like the super complicated one that can handle like a Nike or like a massive company like that, right? And then you've got your WooCommerce, which is kind of the go-to e-commerce plugin for WordPress, and has kind of established themselves in that way over the last 5-10 years. Yeah, probably 5 years, probably 10 years ago. I don't know if they existed, but yeah, in the last 5 years, I'll say WooCommerce has kind of solidified their position as the go-to WordPress plugin for e-commerce, right? And then OpenCart, I believe they are an open source platform, kind of standalone, self-hosted, right? As all three of those are. And then you mentioned something like Shopify, you mentioned something like BigCommerce, which are hosted solutions. You don't have to have hosting with them because it comes with it. And so where am I going with this? Each one offers something a little different, right? I've already mentioned the hosting side of it. So Magento, WooCommerce, OpenCart, I believe, are self-hosted. That means you have to pay and pick your hosting provider. And there's various thoughts on that. I'm not going to go into that here. And then you've got Shopify and what was the other one? BigCommerce, which are hosted solutions. You don't have to have hosting for those. So that's just one differentiator. Okay, we've kind of got 60-40 split or something like that. Let's go into features. So Magento, they're going to allow you to be super custom, do things any which way you want. I would imagine, and I've never done this, but I would imagine something like we saw with either Reebok or Nike or something like that, where you could design your own shoe. I think it was Nike, where you could design your own shoe. And I think with Magento, you'll have the ultimate flexibility to do something like that. Design your own shoe, get really specific about what it is you do with your store. So that would be the Magento. With WooCommerce, I would kind of associate that with people who are they have a little bit of know-how. They can get around WordPress. And WordPress is kind of known for being easy to use, but they've already got a WordPress site, and maybe they don't want to start over. Just install the WooCommerce plugin and maybe a few paid plugins, because the plugins are paid, and you're good to go as long as you've got somebody to take care of your security and stuff like that. OpenCart, it's a standalone thing. I would imagine and I don't have that much experience with it, but I would imagine their blogging doesn't compare with what WordPress and WooCommerce do. And I would venture to guess that Magento, OpenCart, and I have used Shopify, and I would agree, and BigCommerce probably too. I haven't worked that much with them, but I would imagine none of them compare with WordPress's blogging capabilities, the built-in blogging capabilities of WordPress and WooCommerce. Right, so that's another one. Like, if you're serious about creating content and what you can do with it, you can't go wrong with WordPress. And then OpenCart is that standalone thing where hey, I don't want a whole WordPress blog. I just want like an e-commerce site. Maybe OpenCart makes the most sense there. And then Shopify seems to be really popular with direct to consumer businesses. We see a lot of drop shippers who are just getting started in digital marketing and e-commerce and business ownership. We see a lot of them go to Shopify just because it's so easy to get started, as opposed to with WordPress, you kind of, even though they've got that famous 5-minute install, I think it's going to be over the heads of a lot of people who are just getting started and don't have any experience with this stuff, where Shopify, they've got a lot of helpful information to help you get going. And then BigCommerce, I would put in the same categories Shopify, but maybe not quite so easy to use. And I think the ease of use is why Shopify is kind of stepping forward as like a major player. And we're seeing much bigger and bigger businesses use Shopify. So the pricing is also something that is setting these things apart. And as I mentioned, it's pretty much free to go with WooCommerce and WordPress, to where Shopify and BigCommerce are fairly affordable to get started. Magento, I'm not too sure because I've never started a Magento store. I'm not too sure about the pricing, but I know that if you hire a Magento developer, they're going to be most likely considerably more expensive if you want a good one than a WordPress developer. And that just kind of goes to like a lot more people are doing WordPress, which kind of drives the price down at a certain point. And so it's going to be a little harder to find a Magento developer. You're going to pay a little bit more to get that stuff done. So I think that I covered everything that I wanted to cover with this video. If you found this video helpful for you, please hit that like and subscribe button. And I got one more offer for you. You're definitely not going to want to miss this. This is a one-page PDF. It's my SEO e-commerce cheat sheet for anybody with an e-commerce business. You need to see this stuff. We share the way that we've moved the needle in major ways for all kinds of different e-commerce businesses out there with organic SEO traffic. So take advantage of that in the link below in the description, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.